Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a topic that, well, lots of people search for online, but maybe also fear a little: salary negotiation. Our mission here is really to help you turn any hesitation about talking money into, a real tool for success.
That's absolutely right. And it's interesting because this really isn't just about the numbers, is it? It's fundamentally about knowing your own worth and realizing that negotiation, well, it can actually be the bridge between feeling kind of desperate and finding real opportunity.
Yeah, I feel like we hear negotiate all the time, but then so many people, myself included sometimes, just hesitate. Why do you think mastering this is so critical, especially, right now?
Well, okay, let's start with a pretty stark number from Glassdoor. Over 67% of people, it's nearly 2/3, end up leaving money on the table when they talk salary. And often it just boils down to fear, or maybe just not feeling confident enough. Think about what that actually means for your own earnings over time.
Wow, 67%. That's huge. Almost 2 out of 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the main thing holding people back? Is it just fear, or is there more to it?
It's usually not just fear, though that's a big part. Often it's, not really knowing what the market rate is for their job, or maybe not understanding things from the employer side, or just feeling like asking for more seems, pushy or confrontational, but it really should just be a professional conversation.
And it's not just about this one paycheck either, right?
Yeah.
We looked at some LinkedIn research that honestly kind of blew me away. It showed how even a small, successful negotiation can add up to thousands, literally thousands more over your whole career. Makes you think, doesn't it? About times maybe I didn't ask.
Exactly. It's a very common feeling. Yeah. But that's why having a framework isn't just about finding the right words. It's also about building up that inner confidence to actually make the request.
Okay, so knowing all that, how do we actually do it? Is there some kind of magic formula? Well, we've kind of boiled it down to a surprisingly simple but really effective 3-step approach.
Okay, step 1. Prepare with facts. This is foundational. The main idea is you absolutely need to know the typical salary range for your specific role in your market. Don't guess. You can use resources like PayScale, Glassdoor, things like that to get solid data. And then you can frame it like, based on my research, the typical range for this kind of role is between $6 and $. See how that grounds it? It's objective.
Right. Objective facts first. Makes sense. Then step 2 is express your value. So this is where you clearly connect your work to results, your achievements. And critically, you need numbers where possible, quantifiable impact. Don't just say, I did a good job. Prove it. Like you could say, in the last quarter, I led a project that boosted revenue by 20%. Show, don't just tell.
Exactly. Show the value. And then step 3, make a clear ask. The key here is confident, but, polite language. You've laid the groundwork with facts and value. Now you state what you're looking for. A good way to phrase it might be, considering my impact and the market rate, I'd like to discuss a base salary of Zilla Z.
Okay, so let me recap that. Facts, value, ask. Sounds straightforward enough, but, for someone who's naturally a bit shy or maybe feels intimidated by their boss, isn't there still a big mental block, even with this formula?
Oh, absolutely. That's a really important point. The framework gives you the what and the how, but overcoming that internal barrier, the mental game, that's huge. But the subtle brilliance of this formula, maybe, is how it shifts the dynamic. You're moving away from sounding like you're just asking for something emotionally. You're presenting a logical, well-supported case, and that doesn't just potentially get you more money, it actually earns you respect. It positions you as a valuable professional. It's about demonstrating your worth, not, pleading.
That makes a lot of sense. It reframes it. To make this really concrete, let me share a quick story about someone, Lynn, a manager in Vietnam.
Yeah, Lynn's situation was pretty typical at first. She really dreaded asking for more money. She'd usually just accept the first offer. Even though her performance reviews were, outstanding, she was clearly worth more. Just like that 67% statistic we mentioned earlier, really, leaving money on the table.
Right. But then, after getting some coaching on this exact approach, she really buckled down. She did the research, gathered her market data, compiled a neat list of her achievements, focusing on the impact they had. And, this is key, she actually practiced saying the words out loud over and over until it felt, natural and confident for her. She wasn't just memorizing lines.
And get this, here are the words she actually used in her review. You can hear the framework. Based on my market research, the range for this role is typically $6 to $. This past year, I delivered 15% growth in my area. Given that, I'd like to discuss a salary towards the top end of that range.
And the result? Pretty impressive. Her company came back and increased their initial offer by 12%.
Yeah, a great outcome financially. But the real game changer here, I think, the thing that really stood out in Lynn's feedback, was that her managers specifically commented on how she presented her case. They respected the professional, data-driven way she handled it. So it wasn't just what she asked for, but how she asked, which raises a good question for you listening. How much does your delivery, your confidence, influence how people respond to you professionally?
That's a powerful point. The how matters as much as the what's. So let's zoom out a bit. What does this mean beyond just that next salary talk? What are the broader implications here?
Well, the career strategist Ramit Sethi, he puts it really well. He says something like, negotiation isn't just about salary. It's about opening doors to respect and future opportunities.
Yeah.
So when you think about the long game, your whole career, being able to negotiate effectively isn't just a nice-to-have skill. It's pretty fundamental for growth. It actually changes how people see you, how they value you long-term.
And there's data backing this up too, right? I remember seeing a Harvard Business Review study. It found that women who negotiate their salary tend to earn just as much as men when, and this is the crucial part, when they frame their request using evidence and results, just like our framework suggests.
Exactly. And that really underlines why the facts and value parts are so critical. Using objective data and proven results, it builds trust. It shifts the conversation from feeling like a demand to feeling like a rational, professional discussion about fair compensation for value delivered. You're essentially building a business case for yourself, not just making a wish.
Okay, building a business case. I like that framing.
Yeah.
So let's get super practical again. What are some specific phrases people listening right now could potentially use?
Right. Some strong but still polite options. For the facts part, in my research, I've found that similar roles typically pay between $6 and $10 for highlighting value. I'm particularly proud that I was able to increase sales in my division by 30% last quarter. Use your own real number, of course. And then for the ask. Based on that, I'd like to discuss a salary of ZLZ.
Great examples. And what if the base salary itself is, like, non-negotiable? What if they say, sorry, the band is fixed?
Good question. Negotiation doesn't have to stop there. You can pivot. Think about the total compensation package. You could say something like, okay, I understand if the base salary has limitations. Could we perhaps explore other areas like performance bonuses, extra vacation days, or maybe professional development funding? It shows you're flexible, but still focused on your overall value proposition.
That's smart. Look at the whole picture.
And maybe just a couple more general tips for any negotiation. First, really listen. Actively listen to what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Second, don't be afraid to pause before you respond. Take a breath. It gives you time to think and shows you're considering their point. You don't need to rush. And third, using phrases like, I'd be open to discussing, or would you consider, keeps the tone collaborative, not confrontational. It makes it feel like a partnership.
Excellent tips. Okay, let's quickly recap the big takeaways from our deep dive today. First, do your homework, understand the market value for your role. Facts first. Second, clearly articulate your specific value using evidence and results. Quantify it. Third, make your ask clearly and confidently using precise language. And finally, remember to approach it as a collaborative discussion, not a battle. Listen, pause, be open.
Absolutely. So the challenge for you, our listener, coming out of this is to actually try it. Use that 3-step formula: facts, value, ask and draft your own potential negotiation script. Just write it down.
Yes, and then don't skip this part. Take that crucial next step. Practice it. Say it out loud, maybe in front of a mirror, or record yourself. Feel how your posture might change, how your voice sounds when you state your value clearly. Because embodying that confidence, actually feeling it, that's where the real transformation happens. Remember, you deserve to speak and earn with confidence.